This is some advice for women. Understand, so this is especially advice for women who are in prematurely integrated relationships with men that they do love, right? You can love someone without the good dick and the guidance being established, without that masculine feminine dynamic, without that dominance. Like, love isn't based on that. See, something that can occur in relationships is that when you're prematurely integrated, it's when that love and that emotional connection and that friendship is established before a man's authority as a man. Like, before you establish that you desire him on a sexual level, and that you highly value him as a man, and that you respect him. Respect and desire. If before those things on a sexual and non-sexual level aren't established, then what's going to often happen in your mindset is that you're going to feel as if getting more sexual than you already are. Not all women. This is a different category. This isn't all women, but what may happen is that you will get into your social programming about the way you view that man sexually, and you may get into your social programming about your ability to be feminine and submissive with him. Now, this is something to understand. Something to understand is this. Now, the man you're with, who's prematurely integrated, he's also socially programmed. And because of that, that's part of the reason why he has the mindset that he does. If you're actually attracted to him, then understand that he has a capacity to be a masculine dominant man, right? He has a capacity. He has a capacity to be a leader within him. But the issue is just that the way that you two interacted with one another, it created this series of events, these mindsets, this pattern. And how this pattern works right here is this: it creates a Madonna whore complex in him and a gentleman gigolo complex in you. You're probably familiar with the Madonna whore complex. Let's say that a Madonna whore complex for a man would be that in this scenario, it would be that because he has love for you and a connection with you on an emotional level, he may not feel fully comfortable slutting you out. If this is not your situation, that this listen, this is not for you. But especially, let's say you're a woman who's not being vaginally orgasmic with a man. That's a big scenario. Or let's say you don't give head, right? Or let's say you won't let him do something that he really wants to do sexually. What I want you to do is think about this situation from a different point of view. All right? What I want you to do is look at this situation from a different point of view and understand that someone can bring that out of you. Right? Someone can bring it out of you. Those things that you think you don't want to do now, you have a capacity to do those things. Right? If you cheat on him and get caught and then he tells you you have to do those things, would you do it? If you are in a hookup situation with a dude who's very sexy to you, would you do it? If some dude just came out the scene and started just shaking shit up, blowing your mind, and he just approaches you in a way where your feminine energy, your sexual desire, it just jumps on it. Whatever he wants to do with you sexually, you're gonna be open to doing it. And I know because I'm that guy. I've been that guy for many women, where they'll be in relationships where there's things they're not comfortable with and things that they wouldn't quote unquote allow because of the history they have with their men. Now, this is a big aspect of sexual integration. You have to be able to mix those two together. That gentleman and a gigolo. You have to be able to see him as a fully sexual being while also seeing him as the man who you love, right? You got to be able to see him as a man who you respect and have reverence for, and also see him as the man who you go to for safety, who you go to for love and affection and attention, and to have those romantic moments, to have that relationship, that friendship. You got to be able to mix those two together. Because I'm going to tell you what can happen. Let's say you and him, y'all break up. The lack of the, no, I'm not even going to go to the breakup part. Let's say you're with him. Maybe y'all got together young. And during that time that he's with you, you're rejecting him for sex here and there. Not all the, I mean, yeah, on a pretty decent basis. Like it's no thing for you. Sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you're sleepy. Sometimes you're hungry. Sometimes you just had a bad day. You're not in a good mood. Sometimes it's the environment. that you're in. Sometimes it may be the time of night. It could be a variety of things. Maybe it's because you want more sleep. What you got to understand is that when you dealing with a real nigga, this is not going to be how you going to act. How you feel about a man sexually has more to do with that man than it has to do with just who you are. That's what you need to understand, is that when it comes to understanding your nature as a woman, it's going to be what a man can draw out of you. What I'm saying is, if you love a man, you don't want to have tendencies, simple bitch tendencies. You don't want to have tendencies where a man who does not show that he values you or cares about you gets the best out of you sexually, but the man who actually loves and cares for you doesn't. Because one thing that can happen is this. I'm going to go back to the example that I didn't finish. While you're rejecting him, things he wants to do sexually, while you're turning him down for sex, eventually that man is going to build up a tolerance to sexual rejection of you. And he's not going to build it up by quote unquote respecting your boundaries. No, he's going to build up that tolerance by starting to lose desire for you sexually. And just overall, he's just going to stop being into you as much. Now, if he loves you, especially if you got kids or you've been together a long time and he's scared of being alone or whatever it is, then what he's going to do is, while he's with you, that's going to make him more attracted to other women, right? The fact that he shows that he can sustain a woman and she appears happy because you love him, right? So he should be decently happy. If they see that about him when it comes to how he treats you, that's going to make other women want him. And those other women, they play the role of the whore. You're playing the role of the Madonna. Don't put yourself into the box of being a Madonna, and don't allow a man to put you into that box either. That's where you're sexually repressed and limited in order to uphold a view. Now, a woman will say it's just repressed and limited to uphold the man's view of her. That's true to an extent, but another aspect of it is a woman will withhold certain aspects of her sexuality in order to maintain emotional control and overall control in the relationship, right? It's a tool for manipulation and control. But oftentimes a woman won't see it that way. Most women aren't going to understand when they're being manipulative because they're just doing what they feel. No, what you feel is manipulative. A lot of times what you feel is lying to you. A lot of times what you feel is something that, where if a man tells you it's an issue, you may feel like he's invalidating your feelings. Sometimes that man just understands your nature, and he understands how you can be, and he understands women. Like, when you understand women, you understand that rules are made for some and broken for others. If you with a man and you love him, don't have a bunch of rules with that man sexually. Don't. Because, one, when you do that, you make all the other women more attractive. They're going to come at him with pure lust energy. Pure lust. And if he hasn't experienced that, which he probably hasn't if he's dealing with you the way y'all dealing with each other, if he hasn't experienced that, then when he starts getting that sexual attention from women who see him as fine, who see him as attractive, who see him as sexy, and they're giving him the energy that you aren't giving him, he gonna cheat on you. And I know we say it's just the man's fault. He should be up front. Yeah, he should be up front. But you gotta understand, sometimes a man cheating, just like a woman cheating, is your way of staying in a situation when you love somebody, but you just aren't getting your needs met. And then you feel like it's wrong to say what your needs are, which is, you'll say, oh man has no self-control, he don't respect women, if he makes it clear what his needs are, right? Shaming tactics. That man gonna cheat on you. He gonna fuck up a storm. But this is what's gonna happen. Eventually y'all gonna break up, right? Because that's just what happens. Your relationship is destined to fail. You're prematurely integrated, and you're not getting integrated in the relationship. When it fails, you gonna hear about this man gonna level up in his sexual energy. He's gonna level up in his sexual energy, and he's gonna start fucking up a storm, and he's gonna be giving the dick to the girls that came at him the way you'd imagine wanting the dick from a dude who's your fantasy. And your attraction may increase to him, right? If your social program doesn't beat it all the way down. See, y'all can get back together one day, right? But this is the issue. If as soon as you stop dealing with him, you start doing everything for a brand new man that you didn't do for your last man, you're going to have to be dishonest about your sexual past in order for him to want you back. Because you hold him out. You let him invest all this much emotionally in you while you're doing what they call monkey double flip backflips for some brand new guy. You make him look weak in comparison. You make him look like a beta male. He's not gonna want to be with you no more, right? You're gonna hurt that man, and he may take that out by getting even colder and even colder, and now he's definitely gonna cheat on your ass again. What you want to do when you're in a relationship, I suggest don't be prematurely integrated. And you know you're prematurely integrated if you want to be in a relationship with somebody and you haven't even had sex with them. Like you don't even know if you're compatible with them. Like one of the only things that you can't outsource in a relationship is sex. So why not see what that's hitting on before you know if you want to be tied down to somebody in a monogamous situation? That doesn't make sense to me. I wouldn't judge a woman for that either, if that's the path she's trying to go down. But what I'm saying is this. Now that man has begun to grow into what he needs to be and what you would have wanted from him, doing all the things that the next guy's doing for you, he's doing that same shit with somebody else. And you could have been getting that same thing. You could have been getting those orgasms, depending on if that attraction and the adequate size was there for what you need. Then if that's there, then that's on you. That's on him too. But I'm talking to the women right now. That's going to be some other shit. And then it's going to be a lot of unnecessary hurt. You leave yourself open to women who are vultures for your man. Why do that? That doesn't make sense to me. You got to protect yourself. Protect yourself. Get sexually integrated. Whoever you love, whoever you're with, be like, okay, cool. I trust them. They've shown me that they're trustworthy. So I trust them. Whatever they want to do, I'm down for it. Within reason, of course. You know what I mean? But whatever they want to do, you down. You got to see them and look at them in a way where you respect and desire him. Think about those things that bring up that desire in you. If it's an attraction thing, focus on the things that attract you to him the most. He may have big hands with big veiny hands, big forearms, big arms, shoulders, or something like that. He might got a beard. Maybe he got the hair you like or a bald head, whatever it is. Something that sexually attracts you. He might just be big in mass. He might tower over you when he's walking next to you. He might got big feet. I don't know if that's what you like. He might got some big thighs. Whatever it is that causes arousing in you when you're looking at a man, see if your man has any of those things and then fetishize those things. Practice getting into your some more submissive energy and see how pleasurable it is. Because you don't want to get overstimulated by a man who don't even fuck with you like that. Because now you fucked up. Now that gentleman gigolo complex is exacerbated even more to the point where you genuinely believe that toxic dick is the best dick. Yes, toxic dick can be good, but it only needs to be toxic if you're too masculine or your social programming is so strong that a man who loves you, your social programming is so strong that you wouldn't let yourself go there. It's all kind of orgasms. It's all kind of experiences that you can have. That man can learn. If he's a man who don't want to learn, that's on him. But if he's a man who's actually trying to please you sexually, he's trying to take it to the next level. He's trying to get with this. He's trying to take you there, and you're not open to it. All you're doing is setting yourself up to create a monster in this dude when you eventually cheat on him, or you take a vow of celibacy out of nowhere in the middle of the relationship for religious reasons, and then you fucking somebody else as soon as you're single. It's different things that go on that before you make those type of decisions, before you're like, well, I'm going to hold back or I'm not comfortable with that. Yes, think about that, but understand that your idea of comfort, your idea of safety is not based on how good a guy is to you or you would have been doing it for that man. Your idea of comfort is safety, is what I call the bigger fish theory. You have to feel like he's bigger than what you're afraid of. You got to feel that his openness to accept you is something that you won't feel shamed or slut shamed for it. You got to feel like, he's open-minded or non-judgmental. You got to feel like he can dominate. You got to feel like he has the strength, the capacity to do it. You got to feel he has the nastiness to do it. That's what makes you feel safe. When y'all talk about safe and comfort, Like comfort and safe, those two different things. A lot of times when y'all talk about comfort, you mean the ability of being in a situation where you can do the bare minimum. That's what comfort means a lot of the times. The standards aren't too high. I'm not being held to a standard. That's what a lot of y'all be meaning by comfort. Really, what y'all mean by comfort is comfort versus excitement, comfort versus submission. Comfort and submission and excitement is two different things. When you're in a survival mode mindset, then your primary focus is on wanting to be comfortable because you don't feel like you can get what it is that you really want, which is a man who's masculine and dominant and sexy to you. And when you don't feel like you can get that and good character in the same package, then you just settle for a dude who wants to give you attention. You don't respect that nigga. You don't. And that lack of respect is probably going to lead to you cheating or disrespecting him in some type of way. You might even cause a dude, if he gets emotional for real, he might beat your ass because you don't respect him. It's like you gonna do some weird shit. You gonna say some goofy shit. You gonna have this man confused. It's gonna be his fault. But you'd much rather have a man who feels like a man, who makes you feel like a woman, than having a man who you feel like you can control. It's a much different experience. It's a much different experience. But excitement, that submissiveness is about a man who has the ability to push your limits, to push those boundaries, to make those boundaries dissipate in front of them. Like, oh, I want to do it, you want to do it too. And then now you're in a situation where you're open to a bunch of new experiences, variety of orgasms, liking him on a more consistent basis, loving this man, adoring this man, and not just being like, well, you like him like a friend and you guess he kind of cute, so y'all look good on paper and you like to take some pictures for Facebook. It's not even about that. Or he got some money, he'll take care of me. It's not about that shit. Understand what I'm saying? If you got a good man, don't hold back sexually. That's really one of the best tips of advice I can give you. One of the best tips of advice I can give you. If you got a man who you love, who you're attracted to, don't hold back sexually. If he's not taking you to the next level, get yourself to the next level. Open up your own mindset, your own horizons. Get there. Do something nasty. Blow his mind. And you might see a different side of that man. So, hey, this is Brody Dharma. I'm out. Oh, and what I was about to say. Yeah. Get sexually integrated. Don't hold back with a good man.